Come on in, honey. The lantern's lit, the veil's a little thin, and the wind's been dying to carry a few secrets your way. Welcome to Raven's Ramblings, where the shadows walk beside us and the past never stays buried, and a good spell can speak louder than a sermon. I'm Raven Nightingale, part healer, part hellraiser, keeper of the old ways and ghost stories alike. So pull up a chair and listen close. You never know what might be whispering in the dark. Hello, my beautiful witches, and welcome back to Raven's Ramblings, the podcast where magic is personal, intuition is sacred, and perfection is, well, honestly, is overrated. So, which is going to bring us right into today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about two things that walk hand in hand in so many of our lives. And this episode was prompted by a comment I got on YouTube um, about how something I had said had helped someone kind of shed their imposter syndrome, because imposter syndrome and the pressure to be the perfect witch, oh my God, it's insane. So, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So, if you've ever wondered, am I doing this right? Or do I count as a real witch? Or if you've ever felt like you don't know enough, or you don't practice enough, or you don't have the right supplies, or you don't look like those witches on Pinterest or Instagram or YouTube or TikTok or whatever, this episode is for you. So get comfy, light you a candle if you want, and let's unravel this together. Okay? So let's be real about this imposter syndrome. It hits witches super hard, I feel like. And not every single one, I don't think. Some people are just very secure in themselves, and that's fabulous for them. I am so jelly because I am not. I am not that secure in myself. So let's say you are standing at your altar, you pull out your candle, maybe an herb or two, and suddenly it hits you, and you're like, holy shit, do I actually know what I'm doing? Or something like, real witches would probably do this better. Or everyone else seems so much more magical than me. And that little voice, that little whisper of doubt, that is not your intuition. It is not your ancestors. It is not your guides. It is fear wearing a pointy hat. And we all get it at some point in some form, whether it be with our craft or out in the world or whatever. So every witch, well, maybe not every witch. Some people are, like I said, are just that secure. But most witches, even new ones, seasoned ones, solitary, coven trained, eclectic, traditional, chaos, has felt like they were just pretending. Pretending. If you're watching me, you see me quoting pretending at some point. And even those witches who look absolutely flawless online and everything is perfect, they go through this too. Okay. And this doubt does not mean that you're not a witch. 100% does not mean that. It means that you are a witch who cares. Okay. Somewhere along the line, especially in this day and age, witchcraft has gotten tangled up with expectations. And suddenly it felt like, to be a real witch, you had to do certain things, like have a perfect altar, know every herb by heart, celebrate every Sabbath flawlessly, use very expensive tools, or meditate daily, or write spells that sound beautiful and poetic, or perform long aesthetic rituals, and maybe even to always feel intuitive and spiritually aligned. Yeah, let me tell you a little secret about all that. That witch doesn't exist. They do not. I don't care what any of them say. At some point, it shuts off. And that's okay because nobody is doing it all the time. Nobody has a perfect practice. Nobody feels magical 24/7. That's just not humanly possible. It's just not because everyone has off days. Okay. And witchcraft was never meant to be a performance, it was meant to be a connection to yourself, to spirit, to nature, to intention. Magic does not care if your altar is a bookshelf, a plastic table, or the passenger seat of your damn car. It doesn't care. Magic responds to your energy, not your aesthetic. Okay. And I can 100% attest to that just from looking around my altar room here. Y'all see this little bitty section right here, which is still pretty fucking chaotic. But the rest of my witchcraft supplies, oh honey, one day, one day I will get brave enough and show y'all the chaos that is my altar room. Because it is. It is not aesthetic. It there is shit everywhere. There are bracelets and crystals and coffee cups and and sound equipment and lights and box openers. I mean, it is, and that's okay because my craft is not perfect. It's not perfect. So here's the trap. When we get to that point, and even I have done this back in the day, and that sometimes it still sneaks in on me. When we think that witchcraft has to look perfect, we automatically start feeling like imposters. Because the moment we slip, the moment we forget a moon phase, or skip a Sabbath, or don't meditate for a week, I don't know about you, but I don't meditate every week. I want to, can't do it. When we do those things, we think, well, real witches don't mess up. Real witches are always consistent. Real witches would know exactly what to do. Here's the thing, your magic does not disappear because your life gets busy or messy. Witchcraft grows with you, it bends with you, it meets you wherever you are. You do not have to earn your title of witch, you do not have to prove your magic. You simply are a witch because the call lives inside you. It's really that simple. It really is. So let's name some of these lies so we can strip them of their power. Imposter syndrome says things like, you don't know enough, you don't do enough. Real witches have stronger intuition. You don't have the right tools. Other witches are more powerful than you. If your practice isn't perfect, it doesn't count. But hear this, okay? Hear this clearly, jot this shit down, but put it on a post it note on your bathroom mirror. Witchcraft is not a test that you have to pass. There's no checklist, there's no graduation, there's no certification from the universe. You grow by doing, by feeling, by trying, by exploring. And witches who question themselves, they are often the ones doing the most meaningful inner work. Okay. So, some of the most powerful magic is simple things. It's a spell that's whispered through tears, it's a candle lit while you're exhausted, it is herbs grabbed from your kitchen because that's what you have. That's what the majority of my shelf is over there, herbs from my kitchen. Well, I say the majority, not quite the majority anymore, but that's what I started with. It is journaling that is messy and emotional. It is a ritual that lasts 2 minutes instead of 20. Your craft does not become less sacred because it is imperfect. Nature's not perfect. The moon has phases. The tide rises and falls. The seasons change and decay. Why would you be any different? Why? Your magic in your imperfect moments is still magic. And sometimes it's even stronger. So, how do we break free from this imposter syndrome? How do we step into our craft with confidence? So, here's a couple of ways. Number one, let your witchcraft be personal, okay? Because it is. Your craft is meant to look like you, your life, your energy, your needs. My craft looks like me, my life, my energy, my needs. And everyone's craft is going to be a little bit different. And that's beautiful. Okay. Number two, do the magic that feels right, not what looks right. Okay. A cheap candle and a heartfelt intention, that is way more powerful and do more than a $60 crystal ever could. It just is. Once again, it all goes back to that intention. Doesn't matter what tools you have, your intention is your most powerful one. Okay? Number three, allow yourself to be a beginner forever. And I love this one because I totally believe this one. Witchcraft is a practice, not a destination. Always keep learning, even if it's just one little thing here and there. Always keep learning. Okay. Number four, celebrate the magic that you do make. Don't downplay it because it wasn't fancy. It's still magic. Okay. That one's important too. Celebrate every little thing that you do because every little thing you do is important. Okay. Say this out loud. I am a witch. My magic is valid and my practice is enough because you are, and it is, and it always has been. Okay. So, your magic does not require perfection. Your path does not need to match anyone else's. You do not need approval. You do not need fancy altars or an encyclopedia knowledge of witchcraft to be legitimate. I don't have any of those things. I'm still a witch. If your heart is on this path, then the universe has already made room for you. Imposter syndrome is just the echo of the mundane world that has taught us to doubt ourselves. Witchcraft is the rebellion that teaches you to come home to yourself again. You're not faking, you are not failing, you are not behind. You are becoming, you are blooming, and you are remembering. And that, my beautiful witch, is the real magic. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully, this episode brought a little peace to a few people. And if it spoke to your spirit, please share it with a friend who might need that reminder that they are enough. And honestly, this goes beyond magic. This goes out into the mundane world. You are enough. You are. And until next time, stay magical, my dears. Stay gentle with yourself. And remember, witchcraft does not have to be perfect because you are already enough. Bye.